Welcome, everyone. So I'm super excited for this panel because we have some incredible artists and creators here. Big shout out to Kira for putting this panel together. We'll be talking about artists and what it means to become a full-time artist, the challenges, the barriers, and just in general, the type of work that they're doing. So with that said, I'm going to do an introduction on everyone. I have my notes on my phone so I don't miss anything. We're going to start off with Maggie Murray. She is the creator of Jojo Sunshine. She's an artist and educator based in Portland, Oregon. She's become an advocate of how NFTs can empower creators after leaving the classroom and pursuing creative work full-time. Every once in a while, we host Web3 101 workshops together at NFT conferences for beginners. Second, we have Kira. She is also known as Around Artsy on social media, so make sure you check her out and give her a follow. She's an award-winning filmmaker and multidisciplinary artist. She's inspired by our capacity to heal from mental health struggles. Her work is truly incredible and inspirational. I've also been lucky to have the opportunity to work with her on her NFT project last year called Magic Mind. If you don't know what that is, head to her socials to find out. Third, we have Cam Murdoch. Cam is an artist and founder of a Web3 music curation platform and artist collective known as Future Surf Radio. When he's not creating art or building Future Surf, he enjoys helping creators and businesses of all kinds find their way into Web3. Last but not least, we have Domino. He is a multidisciplinary music artist combining music with film, fine art, dance, and more crafts to tell compelling and current stories. Currently, he's working on volume 2 of his album trilogy. Domino relies on connection and communication to connect with his audience. So, thank you so much for being on this panel. And I'm Katrina. I'm a metaverse architect, and I'm your moderator for today. So, first question is, what does it mean to be an artist?
Testing. Oh, okay, my mic's on. What does it mean to be an artist? For me, I've been an artist, I guess, since I was born. When I was a little child, I was dabbling in all forms of art, and it's just a natural extension of who I am. It's a way to process emotions, a way to understand emotions, and just what's going on in your subconscious. So yeah, being an artist, I think, is just being a soul. It's being a person and existing and releasing the feelings and the world within you. Yeah.
I don't know if I could put it better than that. For me, being an artist is, in addition to like transmuting what you're experiencing internally and putting that out into the world, it's also a duty of observing and storytelling for just the current time. So I feel like being an artist is an archival practice.
I agree completely. I think it's about being a vessel and channeling, whether that's from outside of self or from in self, and having a responsibility to communicate with people, to connect through the arts is what it means to me.
Yeah, those were beautiful answers. I would just like to add that with my background working with kids, I feel like being an artist really means tapping into that creative and wild and bold and fearless energy that all children have. And I feel like everyone has that inside of us. And so as an artist, it's tapping into that energy and sharing it with the world.
I love all those answers. They were so beautiful. I'm wondering, is there any other artists in the audience? Right there? Oh, there's a couple. That's amazing. Well, next question. How did you guys transition into Web3?
I don't want to go first. You go first. Okay.
So I got into NFTs about 2 years ago. Before that, I was a full-time filmmaker, and around that time, I bought an iPad and was starting to pursue one of my other passions of visual art. And so my brother, who's a developer, I had a call with him, and he was just like, Kira, you should look into turning your art into NFTs. And that was the first time I ever heard about that. And I was like, what is he talking about? And then he was like, cryptocurrency, blockchain, blah, blah, blah. Did some research, found the amazing community on Twitter, fell in love with the community, started selling my art as NFTs, and then it just picked up from there. And yeah, And then I became a full-time NFT visual artist, which was very unexpected. I think a lot of people in the space took an unexpected life turn because of Web3. So, yeah.
I got into Web3 because I was doing marketing for this entertainment law firm. And as the youngest person on staff, they tasked me with doing their crypto and blockchain research. And I looked in and said, okay, I know some of these words. And it involved a lot of just being on Twitter and learning through participation, because there's only so much you can read to understand. And once I started participating, it was a slippery slope. And I found myself just diving in full time as a creative. And I remember like the first time I heard about NFTs was a friend of mine at a party who just like walked by and whispered in my ear, hey man, you should check out NFTs. So the seed was planted then, but it's been fun.
Yo, shout out whoever that was.
Gabe Niles.
Nice. Yeah, I was following a ton of visual artists on Twitter that were stepping into the NFT space around 2020. And I was blessed to watch their journey, going from completely independent artists selling $10 prints to $20,000 digitals to, you know, exceeding that. And I saw the unlocks in real time. So I was learning as it was going, and then I started minting, and I saw the unlocks of everything I was already doing as an independent artist, from throwing events, releasing music independently, collaborating with artists. All of it was already happening. So when I saw the space, I was like, okay, this is like how I can bundle everything together to tell these stories and to connect with people deeper. So I just dove in.
Yeah, for me, I also had, like you were saying, Kira, a really hard turn. In my past life, I was a third grade teacher for many years. And then and I was very unplugged. And then when everything migrated online, when COVID locked everything down, I kind of went down the Web3 rabbit hole. I was seeking community because everyone was isolated at that time, and I joined an art community online, which wasn't first Web3 centric, but the founder, shout out to Maggie Murray, he onboarded me, like, you've got to learn about NFTs, started minting my work, and then eventually joined the team at Coco NFT, where I met Kat, and yeah, kind of the rest.
That's awesome. I love it. I love how everyone here has found their way into Web3 and has kind of come to Web3 on their own path, all different stories, and I think it's very encouraging and very inspiring to hear them. So next question. This one is for Cam specifically. So you're in the music industry. How has Web3, I guess more specifically NFTs, made an impact for music creators or music artists and that industry?
I think the very first thing that comes to mind is super obvious. Artists don't get paid a lot for the streaming of our content, right? But when you think about how important music is, it's actually the largest export good in the United States. And there's nothing that you do that doesn't involve some sort of sound curation or creation, right, to enhance the experience. So music NFTs allow us a way outside of the existing paradigms of the music industry to dictate our own value, right? There isn't like a standard of a song is worth $1.99 anymore. The song is worth whatever the creator or collector values it at. And then from there, outside of the monetary things there, it just creates a way to verify and put a stamp on your connection that's like immutable. It could be transferable if you want it to be, but you just have all of these different new connection points with your fans, your most dedicated fans that you just didn't have before. I have a lot of monthly listeners on Spotify, and I couldn't tell you anything about any of them individually, but I could tell you a lot about every person who I've interacted with through the blockchain that's bought one of my music NFTs.
I love that, and I'm really excited to see where the music industry and Web3 goes and continues to go, because I feel like it's still so early and there's still so much more to come out. So thank you for sharing that. I love this panel just because each person here comes from a different area of art and the creator economy. So really great panel. The next question is for you, Kira. So your work has inspired and touched the lives of like many people. Where do you take your inspiration from, and what have been some of your best Web3 moments?
Yeah, so for me, basically everything I do is inspired by mental health. So whenever I'm creating, it's about letting the emotions, whatever they may be, even if it's dark, depression, anxiety, or sometimes I'm really happy and whatever. Whatever it is, just unfiltered, letting it flow. Because I think through that process, it's both therapeutic for myself, but then also when you put that kind of work out into the world, it helps others to feel less alone in their journeys, and also it creates space for other people to talk about some of the feelings and thoughts that are sometimes hard to feel comfortable talking about. So I draw a lot of inspiration from that. And in terms of key moments on my journey, I would say one thing that comes to mind was one of my first collaborations I did with another artist. So something really cool about the Web3 world is that you make friends with people all over the world, and even though you don't necessarily meet them in person, you get to be on a journey with them. And so one of my friends, he's based in Spain, I believe, and we did an art piece together, and we dropped it, and I'm pretty sure this was my first collaboration ever, and it ended up selling out immediately, which was crazy for us. It just felt so cool. And then we ended up just celebrating with each other virtually and sending each other videos of just like, yeah, we did it, So I would say that kind of summarizes some of the profound joy that I've experienced in the Web3 world, just like those connections and just being connected with all of these amazing people all over the world and creating together and journeying together. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so beautiful. Like the Web3 spaces really brings people together. And sometimes you could be working with someone for a year in the space and you have never met them. Like kind of like Kira. Like this is my first time actually meeting Kira, but we've known each other for a couple of years. So it was really nice to finally meet you today as well, too, in the flesh.
Literally just met in real life in the past 20 minutes or so, and we've known each other for 2 years, so.
But I feel like I've known you for ages, so. All right, so Jojo, I'm so curious about your journey into becoming a full-time artist, because you did your transition from being an educator, and being an educator in the Web3 space is so important because the content that we put out there needs to be at a certain level and needs to be almost explained in ways which people can understand, because Web3 has very difficult concepts, right? So like, when did you make the jump into becoming a full-time artist, and how did you kind of transition?
Okay, so for me, like I said, I was a third grade teacher for many, many years, and I got to a point in my professional career where I was feeling a little burned out. Being a teacher is very hard work. It's very underappreciated, and when the pandemic hit and everything shut down, I finally was able to slow down enough to realize some things that were missing from my life. And when I had the time to create and make the art, I realized that the Jojo Sunshine is actually what was missing, and I was able to start growing my brand and growing my business. But when I learned about NFTs and how it can really empower creators, that's where I was just really hooked and went down the rabbit hole that way. When I met Reed from Coco NFT, one of the founders, I was really originally only interested in helping with events, but he's like, you're a teacher, you can help people, like we need educators. And that's when I realized how much the skills that educators have can be translated to the Web3 space. But my work with kids in the classroom is very influential to my art and my work that way. So I don't know, it's kind of like a mashup of all my passions. I'm really thankful that NFTs are able to empower creators that way. I thought that I was capped in one aspect, and then NFTs just opened up all of these doors and opportunities that I never anticipated. So.
No, I love that, because I feel like as a teacher, you have all these different tips and tricks when you're educating people about the Web3 space, which is really awesome. We've also been doing kind of like Web3 101 workshops at different conferences. So if you ever see us in town and you have beginner friends in the area, it's a great way for them to kind of jump into the space. So on to Dominic now, all the way on the very
Hello.
end. So you do a little bit of everything. So I'm curious, how do NFTs fit in your creative process? Because you're a multidisciplinary artist, you do fine art, dance, video, what else?
A bunch of things.
About everything. I love that.
Yeah, I try and world build around my music, and that includes so many types of crafts and collaborations and things. But as soon as I discovered the space, I realized that every piece of the puzzle can be minted. From the trailers that we drop, the promotion materials, like these things can be integrated in a way that can not only fund the project, but allow people to have ownership over these moments. And that feels really, really important. And so it feels like a major part of the entire process. It's not the end goal, it's just a part of the puzzle and a new means of connection at the end of the day, and connecting with an audience as an individual artist that has become a huge center point of everything I'm doing. And it's engaged me in a way to come up with artistic ideas that I never would have because of these tools. So
I love that. Thank you so much. So I know we only have 2 minutes left, but I'm going to finish this panel off with one last question for everyone. What advice would you give to other creatives who are wanting to incorporate Web3 technologies or NFTs into their process?
I'll go really quickly. I would say the biggest thing is that if you're interested is to join a community, find someone that inspires you, that you connect with, because nobody in this space is successful alone. So I think it's really important to find people that you can help lift each other up.
That was basically what I was going to say. And off of that, if you haven't done it yet and you're overwhelmed, don't know where to start, it could be cool to find an artist who's already in the community and collaborate with them, because then they can help you, guide you through the process, connect you up to their community, their friends, their collectors. But yeah, just get involved, get on Twitter. Before NFTs, I was like, no, Twitter, but there's some really cool people on Twitter, and that's like where a lot of the action is happening. So get on there, get involved, make friends, do it, go for it. You can do it.
I would say to take your time. It's changing every day. It's super fast paced, and have a firm grip on your why. Stay connected to that and vet all of the different tools and opportunities against that. You don't need to try everything.
Facts. All of that was amazing. I would say stay grounded. Stay grounded in your truth. To jump off that, like it's a crazy, exciting place. And when you have worked so hard as an artist, especially an independent artist, once you start receiving any amount of success, it's very, very exciting, and focus, and that can lead to extreme burnout to where you're out for months. So really watch out for that. Stay on your human routines, and stay on your mental and physical health, and you'll be good.
I love that. Thank you so much. And with that, we are like right on the dot. Nice. Well, thank you, everyone. If you guys could give it up for our panelists. If you guys have any questions, feel free to come up, chat, and ask them all the questions.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.